Beautiful. Good morning, Greg here, burner both ends, burner on the front end of Wednesday. It is May 16th, 2018, and I'm so excited. I'm one day from going to New York City, see my brother and my dad, celebrate my dad's 75th birthday. It's going to be a great weekend, and one of the cool challenges for me, so this is, started this channel about just over a week ago. Been keeping up with the double posting, and so the challenge will be posting on the road, and so I'll have to get my learn on. Have to figure out, I mean, not that it's so challenging to post through my phone, but use the phone, use my Chromebook. I love Chromebooks, by the way. So just light and streamlined and simple to use. And yeah, so it'll be challenging. I'll be in a new environment. I probably won't have the hat and the hoodie. I think we'll all be okay with that. So and before we get into today's topic, which is a lot of fun for me, and I made this awesome connection today this morning in writing this outline. I find that happens. I write this outline. It's linked down below, and I find that as I'm writing this outline, it really kind of creates a lot of connections in my mind. You know, random thoughts or different experiences from different times in my life, and it creates connections and solidifies things, and very cool. And I'll do a whole post on this outline concept and where I got it from. And how I use it, and I find it to be very simple and helpful. So just to get into some music, right? So I've been talking about, I love this psychedelic ambient, these psychedelic ambient mixes, these DJ sets. There's two of them linked. Actually, not two of them, but one website that has a whole bunch of mixes, some psy-ambient mixes down there, and then this awesome DJ set, a 4-hour DJ set by DJ, and I'm not sure how to say this, I'm going to do my best. Bayamaka is essentially what happened there is there we go, sorry, a little typo. DJ Bayamaka, Bayamaka, and I linked one of his SoundCloud, or I'm not sure if it's a him, one of this DJ SoundCloud 4-hour sets, and I just love this set. Love it. It's great to work with, or to listen to while working. Sorry, having a problem with some words this morning. Other cool thing that I'm experimenting with is voice and Alexa and Ents. This platform Ents, I've now linked it. It's always going to be in the description where to go get the app. I highly recommend checking it out. Join Ents. It's a lot of fun, and it's like Twitter but with your voice, and it's cool. I can have conversations with people around the world. It's very cool, and I'm really digging it. And then with Alexa, I'm just experimenting with Alexa. So last night I asked Alexa to remind me of two things this morning. Yesterday I forgot to put a snack in my daughter's backpack for work. For school. And it's amazing how these little itty bitty things reverberate. And I heard from my wife, "Hey, you forgot to put a snack in." And I heard from my daughter last night before bed. And it's a little itty bitty thing, but so important. And so I'm going to see if I can have Alexa help me remember these things. So I should get two reminders this morning, one at 7:15 and one at 7:30. And what's interesting is I forget the one that's supposed to be at 7:15. So we'll see what Alexa says. She seemed to have no problem understanding what I asked her to do. So, all right, so let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is based on two trainings I took years ago. Maybe this is like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, from T. Harv Eker and his Peak Potentials course. They're called The Warrior and the Wizard for short. And it's essentially two opposing archetypes that we can embody as we move through life. And the successful warrior, and I'm sure we've heard this, has conquered the inner game. I've conquered my mind. And I attack the world. I meet things with force, with resistance. I push through obstacles, right? This is the warrior. And then the wizard has conquered the outer game, or the universe, right? The wizard exhibits patience and looks to understand how things work. So as the wizard, I can leverage the existing energy and existing motion. I am careful not to push against things. I want to see where things are moving and then leverage that. I move with these external forces and directions. I manifest. This is how I manifest things. And Gary Vaynerchuk, huge fan, love the content. He talks about clouds in the dirt, and I've linked to one of his videos about clouds in the dirt in the description and in the outline. And the realization was that clouds in the dirt and the warrior and the wizard, kind of there's connections there. I'll get to them in a second, but back to the warrior. So let's just start there again. So this does require tremendous effort, right? I'm constantly on my game. I'm constantly, opposing things and pushing through things. This is where I bang things out, all-nighters. I push through tasks. I bang out a drawing set for work, things like that. This gets us through battles. And the downside, though, is it takes lots of energy, and I can get burned out. And so I need to be careful when I'm the warrior and make sure that the things that the dragons I'm slaying are really the worthwhile things to be working on. And we all know people in our lives that are burnt out. They push themselves too hard and don't understand. And probably the biggest confusion is not understanding which battles are worth the effort, right? We should really be fighting honorable battles, right? We should not be fighting against weaker opponents. We should be taking on really, worthwhile foes. And that's critical, because then when the battle's done and it's won, there's leverage and there's excitement, and it moves us forward. When we've slayed a dragon that was not really a worthwhile battle, it's disappointing. It's a waste of energy, things like that. So now on to the wizard. The wizard does require very little effort, because as the wizard, I'm leveraging existing energy and existing motion in the universe. I'm going where things are already going. This is a big piece of what I'm doing now with this YouTube channel. I'm rolling out my Instagram. I'm loving this ENS platform. I'm leveraging existing platforms and doing, what I've learned already works in these spaces. This YouTube channel is kind of part of this new kind of fresh, authentic style of YouTube channel, where it's more of a documenting what I'm up to, as opposed to I'm going to produce this very beautiful content and put it out in the world. That's why there's all this stuff behind me, and I'm not so worried about it. That's why I'm wearing this hat and this hoodie. Now the garage door is open. It's a little chilly in here, so that's why I wear it. But also, I had this realization about the hat thing. I love the hat. It's a nice warm hat. My parents got it for me. But something that my dad has always said to me, and I've suffered from this my entire life, is that I can take myself too seriously. And I just remember him saying that on a regular, I don't say regular, but often enough that it's made an impression. And so another reason why I wear this hat is, with this hat, I can't possibly take myself too seriously. And it helps me stay in that space, stay away from that. There are times where it's important, just like there are times where it's important to be the warrior, take out my sword and slay some dragons. But there are probably more times than not, sheath the sword, become the wizard, manifest, leverage stuff, leverage the universe. And so that's another reason why I like wearing the hat. So anyway, back to the wizard, right? Ebbs and flows with the energy of the universe, manifest opportunities with patience and understanding of the infinite game, right? This is, I love this concept, and I caught myself actually in the conversation on Monday night with my business partner talking about the infinite game. We were talking about tech transfer and an opportunity, and it looks like this one that we're looking at in the near term might not be such about making a business for the long term, but more about executing a business to just do one relatively small project. And when I say relatively small, it's looking like a $5 to $6 million project with potentially about a 30% net margin. We're looking at numbers, we're doing due diligence, but think about that for a second. Executing a project, let's say a 6 to 8 month project, or even 6 to 12 month project that generates that kind of cash flow, from essentially one purchase order, and go through this one project to generate, to have a $6 million purchase order with $2 million left over at the end. And then that's the whole thing. And so maybe it might not be building a whole business around it. It might not be expanding and doing all this customer discovery and finding out finding out all these applications for what this technology. It might be a near-term, solution for one customer. Now, a big customer, a customer that's going to write a $6 million purchase order. And we were kind of going back and forth on, well, shouldn't we customer discover and leverage this and find out what other applications this have? And where I was pushing back on that is I was saying, well, what if we just execute this 6 to 12 month project, and at the end of the day, we have this pile of money that now we can do something with, and we don't really make this into a big company. That's kind of, an infinite game thought in some regard, that let's plan for doing this for the next 30 years and not be so worried about if this one technology might sprout into some huge business. What if this one technology just sprouts into this project that creates a pile of cash and a lot of good experience and some, connections and a great team? Because that's going to be part of it, is building a great team. We're going to have a great technology team to do this, and we're going to have a great business team to do this. I mean, I'm not underestimating the need for that. But what if at the end of the day, it's not so much this amazing company, but it's a project that was successful, a pile of cash, and now we can do something with that pile of cash. Now we can leverage, we can grow our team, we can, spend time doing more due diligence for other technologies, exploring more places. And so I thought that was a cool infinite game kind of wizardry that I threw out there. And what that showed me is that what I'm doing here, this constant thinking about these things, it's working. It's changing the way I'm attacking problems, the way I'm thinking about problems, and I'm really enjoying it. All right, so the downside of the wizard, right? So the wizard, don't forget, ebbs and flows with the universe, leverages outside energy. But the problem is there can be delusion, and the wizard can get lost, right? If we're too much in the clouds and are, too much in, the universe will provide, and we're not taking our sword out to slay some dragons, that can be a problem, because now we're starting to fool ourselves, right? We have this concept on my men's team about, we all have a little bit of BS that we push, to get things done in life, and there's a dangerous place when I don't know I'm BSing people or myself. That can be very dangerous. So and then the big connection here was, Gary Vee's Clouds in the Dirt and the Wizard and the Warrior, right? So the clouds is the big vision, right? The dirt is getting in the trenches and doing the real work. And so the wizard plays in the clouds. The wizard manifests, moves with the universe, leverages existing energy, right? Big vision. The warrior plays in the dirt. The warrior generates the power to do the grind, moves against the resistance, right? And when I say the resistance, this is that resistance of getting into this thing that I'm doing, and all these, whether it's internal kind of things in my head saying, what are you doing, why are you doing this, or it's external people saying, what are you doing, like, why are you doing that? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? But it's either my mind or it's the outside world talking to me and trying to make me second guess myself. I'm very good at doing that to myself, and then of course if I listen to the wrong people, they can be very good at it too. And so that's what I talk about, move against the resistance. That resistance that tells me to stop. That resistance that tells me that you're being silly, like doing this channel. This is I'm realizing in this first week, this is a lot of work, but I find it to be extremely empowering. I'm already inspiring some folks, and that really fills me up. I'm going through my life and sort of understanding a lot of the valuable things that I've picked up along the way, and it's really helping me make a lot of connections in my mind, and I really enjoy it. And so the warrior plays in the dirt, the wizard plays in the clouds, and by moving between the two, we can get a lot of things done. And that's the critical thing, is knowing when to move from one to the other. When do I need to take my sword out and slay some dragons? When do I need to sheathe my sword and manifest? When do I need to push against something, and when do I need to have some patience? Go, all right, let me see where that goes, and then maybe follow it and leverage it. Very important. So that's today's topic. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe. Also, I am looking for folks to comment, and I'm looking for people to ask for help. in their life's journey. I mean, I know that's a big thing I do. I'm actually, after this talk, I have some emails and folks to connect with, to ask for some help. That's a big piece of what I do. It's amazing how people love helping. Yeah, so please subscribe, ask questions. I'd love to help you out. If you like the beats in the background, that's my alter ego G Money. I write beats. I love music so much. And part of what I'm doing here is I want to get into spending more time focusing on music. That's one of my big things, and this channel is going to let me do it. And yeah, and then there are a bunch of links down below for some motivational videos that I really got that have inspired me to begin this channel. Big shout out to Gary V. I'd say maybe even a bigger shout out today to T. Harv Eker. I really appreciate what you've done for me. There is a video in the description that links T. Harv's top 10 rules for success, and I'm going to give a shout out to Evan Carmichael. You've got a really nice YouTube channel of these top 10 things of some very inspirational people, and I really appreciate that. And so yeah, so let's wrap there. Go out, do something amazing today, inspire some people, help some people, and yeah, we'll see you later.